All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to share this. Tell everybody on the other stream that we got cut off here. Hang on a sec. Yeah, this YouTube stuff. It's so cumbersome the way they do this. It's so frigging cumbersome. It's crazy. Okay. Okay. Gonna have to pop the link on for everybody.
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently.
Yeah, this is like retarded. Okay, well, you guys get on. All right, I'll give you guys a second to get on while I take care of this. Yeah, this live stream stuff on YouTube is so like, I like reloaded I refreshed the page and then it ended the live stream. Pathetic. Okay. I think that should work.
Okay.
Yeah. That should work. Okay, here we go. We are. There we go. Looks like it's working now, and it's gonna post a selfie for the YouTube, not the YouTube, but the IG. I don't know if I could get it in here. Let's try this. Ugh. How did I do this last time? All right, load up your questions while we do this, fellas. I'm going to jump on for a little bit. It's Friday, as you know, so I'm not going to be hanging out here for too long. Yeah. Oh, I think I did like this. All right. Okay. I don't remember how I did this last time, but anyway, okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's what I did. Yeah. For the IG. Oh, my bad. I took a video. There we go. Yeah, one more. Trying to get everything in there. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna we're live at Alpha Male Secrets. Okay, we're live on YouTube at AlphaMaleSecrets. There we go. Bam. Cool. All right, let's load up some questions here, man. I'm gonna hop on for a little bit. M, you're back in Cali. What's it like with your idiot governor lockdowns and such? They're recalling that jackass, man. They're recalling his ass. Yeah, Newsom. Yeah, they're recalling that dude. So, yeah. Matt, what do you think of these OnlyFans girls? Nothing. I don't think of them at all. Let's see. Matt 2024, that's what I'm talking about. All right, am I going to start posting on Rumble? What's Rumble? I've never heard of that. All these social media outlets, man. I've never heard of Rumble. What's Rumble? Russell Wilson to Cowboys? No. Really? No. Is that a rumor? Come on. Tell me if that's a rumor, guys. Any tips for going out solo? Yeah, just get out there. Just go. that's how I started. I dumped all my friends at the time. I just started heading out solo. And whenever, like, obviously the girls are going to be like, who are you here with? And usually what I would tell them is I would just say, oh, my friends just left, right? Oh, they just left. I decided to stay behind because I saw you. They just left like 2 seconds ago. You just missed them. I was with this big party, right? They just left. I decided to stay behind. So that's easy to cover up. If any of the girls ask you, and they will ask you, what are you doing? Who are you here with? But other than that, I love going out solo. Kind of miss going out solo, but I used to go out solo all the time. And it's easier to just hop from venue to venue to venue, and then you get to go to whatever venue you want. So that's the beauty of like doing solo game. You don't have to wait for your wingman to get out of the bathroom or anything like that. You don't have to fight over targets. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Oh, Rumble is the new YouTube? Really? What about BitChute? BitChute or Rumble? Grezer, what's going on? Thank you. I think I got your message on the DM too. I appreciate that. That really meant a lot to me, by the way. Is it easier to pick up girls in shape with good game? I mean, if you feel better about yourself, yeah. If you feel better about yourself, but I mean, it really depends. I mean, you should already feel that you're enough, no matter what. Right? You should already feel that you're enough. I always said I did much better when I was fat and I was broke. I did the best because I didn't care. I was like, why do I care? I had like no ego back then either. I had zero ego. I didn't care what the girl, like, if she put me down or whatever, I just didn't care. And then I would keep plowing, and the girl's like, oh, he must be high value. It doesn't seem to affect him. I did the best back then. But then once I started getting better shape, and then I started to get financially better, that's when I developed a little bit more of an ego. So I'm trying to get rid of that again. It's hard. The Steel Horseman, do you ever think you will get married? Never say never. I don't know. I would never do this. I would never do a marriage that is under the guise of the state. So if I ever like did anything like that, I would kind of go like, do like Anakin Skywalker and just have a private ceremony. I'll hire the priest myself and keep the state out of it. Just keep the state out of my life. I don't want the state in my life. I don't want to fill out forms, at City Hall or anything like that. Me and the girl, let's just do it. All right. We don't need the government involved. Marty Hafferman, classic cars rule. That's absolutely right, man. I love classic cars. They're just a lot more, you're just a lot more connected to the car than cars today, right? There's just a lot more connection with the car. Yeah, I love classic cars just for that reason. I feel like even when I drive my DeLorean, I'm like driving it, like shifting in the stick, and you have to like steer it. You have to drive the car. I love that. I love that, especially when they're all stock. I love that. Like, if you ever sit in my DeLorean, it's weird. It still smells like it's brand new because it only has 10,000 miles. So it still has this smell that it's almost like it smells like 1981 in there. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't smell bad. It just smells like 1981. So there are times I go in my garage and I just sit in it and I'm like, this is weird. I feel like I'm just in 1981. Tushar, I am doing partnership and running business with a friend. So how can I take authority and make people and workers listen to me and make loyal because they are under his control and loyalty? The best way to get people to follow you is lead by example. Just lead by example. That's the best way to get people to follow you. It's like when I do boot camp, right? Which I haven't so much this year with the COVID, but whenever I do boot camp, a lot of guys don't realize, like, once they come on the boot camp, like I get doubters, right? I get some doubters who like they sign up for my boot camp. I always do the first approach. So whenever I start boot camp, just to gain my students' respect and to get them to follow me, I tell them once we gather together, we all meet. We get right when we get to the venue, I'm like, go ahead, guys, pick the girl. I'll approach. You guys pick the girl. I will approach, and then just watch. Right. So I always do the first approach. I don't know any other boot camp that does that, and I don't know why. That's crazy, right? If I sign up for a pickup boot camp, I want to see the guy in action. So when people pay to see me, that's my first thing that I do is I go pick the girl. I'll approach her, right? And they usually pick like the toughest girl, right? Just like surrounded by 6 guys. Okay, her, do that. I'm like, son of a bitch. All right, let's do it, right? And I just do it. So you lead by example, then you gain their respect. And I start off every night like that. So we do Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday day game. So I do the first approach of each night and each day just to prove myself. Right? I never let the students go first. I always go first and I lead by example. Then that way they see like, oh, okay. And even if I get blown out in front of the students, right? Even if I get blown out, they see how I handle it. They see how I'm able to, like, a lot of times I'm able to turn it around, right? Many times I'm able to turn around and get the girl like, oh my God, you're so cool. But even if I don't, it's like they see that I keep my value. I don't let the girl get the best of me, right? And I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. Or I'll use the girl as a pawn. I'll take her around the venue and use her as a what we call a pawn or a pivot, female wing. So other girls will see me with her, and then I'm like, oh, who is this guy? But always lead by example. That's how you get people's respect. How tall are you? About 5'11". I've said that before. About 5'11". Funny though, when I played quarterback, they would list me in the program at like 6'1", which they do with every like any football team. At least if the coach is smart, they'll list everybody like taller than what they are. So in my football programs, like somebody got a hold of one of my old football programs, and then they were like, "No, he's 6'1" or 6'2", and I'm like, "No, that's the program." I'm like 5'11". Okay, Rumble is the new YouTube. All right, I'm gonna have to check out Rumble then. See what's going on with the Rumble. Jonathan, how much money should I save for a down payment on a condo? Minimum 20%. Because if you don't save at least 20% to put down on a condo, you're going to have to pay PMI, which stands for private mortgage insurance. And that's just going to be like another, depending on how much a condo is, right? I mean, it's going to be like another $7,500 a month that you're just going to be paying for insurance. So I would save at least 20% so you don't have to pay PMI. Also, if you're buying a condo, Jonathan, look into the homeowners association. Look at who's running the HOA, because that's going to be a big difference. Because every condo has an HOA, stands for homeowners association, and sometimes like you could just like move in, and then all of a sudden there's a $10,000 assessment. Right? What's an assessment? It means like say the roof is starting to leak, and they're like, oh shit, we didn't know. Now there's a $10,000 assessment. We're going to just hit everybody who lives here currently with that $10,000 assessment. So make sure there's no assessments in the works and there's nothing crazy like that, and make sure the structure of the building is like okay, and the people who run the HOA are who are on the board are not crooks. That's the biggest thing. That's usually what scares me off of a condo is the HOA, because I like to stick tenants in there, and there's always like some rules and legalities about they don't like most of their units being occupied as rentals, which is understandable, but I want to know ahead of time. Don Ramon, did you block me, bruh? No, you're not blocked here. Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah. JC, yeah, he noticed the shirt. That's what we're talking about. What up? Devin Jones, Matt, are you still a virgin? Absolutely. Absolutely. Shh, don't tell anyone. Grezer, exactly. He was being just you, being you, and Matt Cross. I will never forget when you said, let her experience you. And that hit home and is so true. Live in your own reality. Exactly. Exactly. The girl has to experience you. This is a common thing. It's a common theme that I see in almost every venue that I walk into when I see a guy talking to a girl he just met and he's just like the girl is like just you could tell she's really not interested and she's just kind of like like robotically she's not experiencing him, right? She's just not experiencing him. He's experiencing her. David Corona, I'm more of a truck dude. What kind of truck? You mean like the Raptor, F-150? I think Hummer's coming out with a new one too. That looks pretty sweet. So I would check out the Hummer as well. Devin Jones, that's none of your business. Mastermind 123. Yeah. Stefan Goulet, what do you think of Brazilian women? Love Brazilian women. They're really the thing about Brazilian women is they're pretty easy to make out with. You'll notice that. Like Brazilian women are very touchy feely. They'll make out with you. Like they'll totally make out with you and like let you massage their necks and touch them and stuff like that. But as far as like sex goes, they're usually like, no, we got to be in a relationship. But they'll let you do other things. Like you just want to kiss and make out. They'll totally do that. But I notice that. But like every Brazilian chick I've met in field, very easy to escalate with physically, but then there's the line, right? I've had a few Brazilian chicks take me home. Take me home. I'm thinking, oh, I'm in. We're making out at the club. Ah, this is on. And then we get to her place, and she's just like, oh, did you like coffee? I'm like, coffee? Why am I here? And then the chick's like, oh, I thought we'd watch a movie or something. I'm like, wow, what happened? So yeah, that's the funny thing about Brazilian women is like, yeah, they'll get physical with you until it gets to that part, right? Till it gets to sex, and then it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're not my boyfriend. So yeah, they require like a relationship. At least that's been my experience. CA, I'm on a temporary visa in the U.S. Would you still recommend high-risk approaches, the claw, while I can be kicked out of the U.S. if one approach goes wrong? Not unless you're very skilled at it. Yeah. Because I mean, the claw is like something I usually do, like teach advanced guys, right? And so I wouldn't recommend it if you're new or even intermediate. Depends where you are, right? Depends where you are. And the funny thing is, like with the claw, it's not something I do all the time. It's when I'm in the zone, I do it, right? It's usually when I'm in the zone. Another version of that is just me like walking up to the girl and getting an instant makeout. So that's another thing I do. That's a high risk approach. Captain Photon, when are we going to Vegas, Matt? Supposed to go back to Vegas next month at some point because I've got not one, not two, but three different girls wanting to go out to Vegas, and I'm probably gonna hook up with them there. So I'll probably get back out there probably the end of the month. But I have another trip coming up in a couple of weeks with another girl I recently met, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, March is gonna be a pretty busy month for me. Just catching up with the girls in my pipeline. Cassidy Mort, I wish your 7 Months to Mastery was on a straight playlist and I could play it and listen to it subconsciously, like in my sleep or whatever. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to 7 Months to Mastery, you won't even want to go to sleep. You'll want to go out and use it. You'll want to go out and be like, nope, I got to try this. PRS grind, stay away from single mothers. Isn't that the truth? Manish Takavale, how is life after 40 in single? It's incredible. It's incredible. I always hear like people talk about like, oh, don't wouldn't you want to go back and be like 20 again or 17 again and all this other stuff? And I'm like, I always think like realistically, no. Like realistically, I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to just experience a day, back in whenever that was, right? But I'm pretty happy. I was broke back then. I didn't have money, and I didn't have a pot to piss in, and I was getting in a lot of trouble. So yeah, life is grand. I have more. I mean, I have like more people than ever in my life right now. Obviously, like you guys, my subs, more. I have a bigger social circle than ever. I have more friends than ever. My business is more successful than ever. I have the cars that I want. I mean, I'm happy right now. I'm pretty blessed, man. I'm pretty blessed. So I'm just trying to be grateful. But life is great I mean, as far as I go, I mean, life is good and it'll continue to get better. But yeah, we'll see. See what happens. But it's cool because when you're like single, you could just travel around. You could go wherever you want, and nobody can tell you otherwise. Like I told you, right, you guys, right now, I'm going to shoot out to Vegas. I'm meeting 3 girls out there. Nobody can stop me, right? I'm supposed to go on a trip in a couple of weeks with another girl from NorCal, like up by Sacramento, and nobody could stop me, right? But when you're like married or you're in a relationship, obviously you can't do those things, right? Doesn't mean that I won't want that in the future at some point, yeah. But right now, I kind of like road tripping around. You guys who follow me on IG, I just came back from a road trip almost a week. I went on a week-long road trip. It was kind of like a spiritual cleansing. I went on a road trip. I took my DeLorean too, and I kind of filmed it. I documented it's like a 1,000-mile trip, and if the car would hold up, it was like super reliable, no issues whatsoever. The car ran beautifully, and the only stressful part about taking that DeLorean on a road trip was everywhere I stopped, it was like a gas station. Wherever I stopped, people would come around with the cell phone cameras, and yeah, there was like not a moment of peace. And then I would be on the freeway driving, and then both like 2 cars would be in my blind spot filming with their cameras, and it was like a little dangerous at times. But people just want to see the car, and I'm happy to share it. And I mean, I really, when you buy a car like that, any kind of classic collector car that gets attention, I mean, you should expect that you're sharing it with the world and people get to see it too. And so yeah, that was the only part was like, I took the DeLorean. I probably should have just taken my Range Rover. It's just more low key, but I wanted to take it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Manish Takavale, do you do no fap? Yes, go no fap. I can't even remember last time I fapped, to be honest with you. Not this year. I don't even know in 2020. It's been a long time. Matt Dubia, sup Playboy? Sup Playboy yourself? Fathead. How much? How many property? Three. So yeah, 2 in the Bay Area and 1 in LA. 2 failed with them. Devon Jones, Matt, what do you think about the theory that most dating coaches want us to fail with women so that they still have an audience to release videos to? I don't know. I mean, is that what you think? The thing is, like, we can time travel 100 years into the future. Say we stopped all this now. We travel 100 years in the future, and this is just an ongoing problem. Guys are always going to have problems with chicks. That's just the way it is until they start learning this stuff. But it's just an ongoing problem. It's been going on, long before we were here, even 100 years ago. What was it like back in the old West? People were having the same issues that they're having now. It's just a matter of educating yourself, right? Marty Hafferman, thoughts on shopping mall game? Ever been to Mall of America? I live about 35 minutes from there here in Minnesota. No, but I've always wanted to go to Mall of America. That's like oddly like on my bucket list that I want to go to. I have family in Minnesota, and so I need to go out there. I just don't like the snow. I don't like the cold. That's why I'm in California. That's why it's hard for me to leave. I love warm weather. Um, I'm just like I grew up in front of the beach, so yeah, I need to have a beach by me at all times and like just warm, cool weather. But I do want to take a trip to Minnesota, and I want to check out the Mall of America. Um, I don't even know if they still have that roller coaster inside, but yeah, I want to check out the roller coaster and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, I just never been there. Hotsky 83, what's your stance on guns? Are you pro gun or against them? No, I'm down with guns. I have a gun. I own a gun. Do I carry it around? No. I actually put my gun away. I put it in my storage because I noticed when I was keeping it around, keeping it in the house, it kind of was making me a little too like kind of like relying on it, and I didn't like that feeling. I like the feeling of just reacting and responding, So yeah, I took martial arts for most of my life growing up because I got picked on when I was little, got bullied a lot. So I started taking martial arts when I was a kid, and then I took it till I was in like my mid 20s. So I got like my first degree black belt, almost got my second degree, and I can defend myself. But yeah, I mean, I have one, but it stays in my storage. So yeah, I just don't keep it around the house. I know some people walk around with it and stuff, but like from like a psychological standpoint, it just kind of puts you on edge if you keep carrying it around. It kind of puts you in like defense mode. Like you think like everybody's like, you know, at some point you're going to need to use it, and then it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I felt that happening, so I put it in my storage, and I'm fine. I mean, I'm okay without it, but yeah, it's in my storage. Funny though, it's a funny story is one of my well, he was my best friend from high school. My best friend from high school, who I got in a lot of trouble with SFPD. This guy became a cop, right? He became like an SFPD, and now he's like, well, he retired. I don't know why. No, he didn't retire. I think he's still there. He became like a captain of certain division. But I remember I hung out with him like maybe 10 or 15, maybe 20 years ago now. But I remember we went out to like a club. He was like, he knew I was doing game and pickup. He's like, take me out. Let's do this like old times. I'm like, okay, let's do this like before. And then we rode in his car, and he puts like his gun in his glove compartment. And I'm like, you carry your gun with you? He's like, yeah, I have to. I'm SFPD. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't know, but yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like the gun was like right there in front of me. But yeah, I'm okay with guns though. I mean, we need to defend ourselves, and obviously with the government tyranny, you might need it. You might need it. Matt Dubio, what do you think of Amazon for a side hustle? I think it's a good way to get started. I think it's a good way to get started. But do you want to stay on Amazon? Probably not, because the thing about Amazon is like you have a lot of vultures on there who are just going to copy your marketing, who are going to copy what you're doing, copy your product even. I mean, you could even show me like some of the top products on Amazon, and within a week I can find similar products, repackage them, and copy the marketing if I wanted to, but I don't. I don't have time for that. But I mean, it's that easy. So you inevitably want to come up with your own product. All right, Joan Reynoso with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. I'm in my 30s. How to approach girls 18 to 24, and where is the best places to find younger women? Thanks for all your videos and knowledge. Right now, the best place to find young girls is in Vegas, just to be honest with you. That's the best place to find girls. And obviously the malls, right? I mean, usually like the malls. But my favorite of all time is college campuses, right? And that has been affected with the COVID, but they're going to be back in school pretty soon. So if you really just want to go right from point A to point B, just go to your local college campus. You'll have tons of them there. And if you're still in your 30s, you could pass for a college student, right? I was in my 40s. I was going to UCLA with Brando. Me and Brando were going to UCLA and picking up UCLA girls. Right? I even have a couple of infields of girls I picked up at UCLA. One of those girls that I actually dated for almost like 6 to 8 months. But yeah, just go right to the college campus. Okay, I got another super chat up here I missed. Okay, just with a $4.99 super chat. Sorry for the delay. Thank you very much. How would you go about exuding that mindset of abundance pertaining to wealth and women, etc., even if that may not be my reality yet? Thank you, Justin. You just have to have that delusional sense of self-confidence. Because even when I was broke, had no money, didn't have like two fives to rub together, I just had that like self-belief. Like you believe in yourself that you're gonna become something, you're gonna do something. At the time I was playing football, so I had this, I mean, for me, I just had total self-belief. I was gonna go pro, I was gonna do this. So when I met girls, I had that attitude, like, oh girl, I'm playing football here, I'm playing at this college, and these are my stats right now, and I'm talking to this scout, which was all true. And I'm like, I'm going places and this and that. So I would always exude the fact that, yeah, I'm money. I'm money. So you have to exude the fact that you're money, right? That you believe in yourself. I mean, and the thing is too, even if you have that stuff, because I know guys that are in my entrepreneurs group, right? I run an entrepreneurs group, and I know some guys who have money and who are successful, and they still exude like almost like a scarcity about themselves, as if they don't have that stuff. It's almost like it's okay to be humble, but they're like a little too humble. So a lot of it comes back to self-belief, delusional self-confidence, and just believing in you being the winning lottery ticket, right? You have to believe that you're going to be that winning lottery ticket, and then it'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, I believed in myself so much that even though it didn't work out with football, I sustained a pretty bad shoulder injury. So it's like a rotator cuff is like gone. But I believed in myself enough where it's like something else ended up working out, and that just went like I went into corporate America and I did well there, and then I started my own business. So it's just that constant self belief. But you have to walk around like you're the winning lottery ticket. I mean, that's the best way that I can explain it. Is you have to feel like the girl is winning by talking to you, because you're going to become this guy. You're going to do this. You've got these plans. You're growing, you're expanding. You've got this going on. So you have to come at it like that. So even if you don't have those things, you have to come at it like that, because again, your thoughts create your reality. Adam H, how did you stay motivated when you first started your business? I just kept thinking like the next thing was going to be the big thing, even though it wasn't. So I just kept thinking like, okay, this one's going to work. And then, obviously it was like failure, 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 failure. But I just, it's that just unquestionable self-belief that, okay, I'm just going to keep pounding away and eventually I'm going to hit something. Right. And then obviously, like even those failures, you learn from your mistakes. So that's a big thing. That's a big lesson that I learned from pickup and game that I applied in business. It's because with pickup and game, like when I first started doing it, I was making so many mistakes, but it was just exciting to learn. It was exciting to go, oh, okay, that's what I did wrong. I shouldn't have said this to her. Next time I'm going to say this. And then I would do that. I was like, oh shit, this worked. Oh my God, it worked. So it was kind of like the same thing in business. It's like, oh man, that didn't work. Okay, I'm not going to do that. This time I'm going to try this. And each failure, I would get better and better. So that kept me motivated. It's just you keep seeing the progress. So as long as you keep seeing progress, you need to keep going. And sometimes the progress won't be that big, but it'll be like, oh, okay, I learned something. You're always going to learn something when you fail. So that's why I always say you learn more from your failures than you do your successes. Luke Hughes, nice, doing martial arts. Yeah. I owe a lot to martial arts, man. Even though I don't do it so much anymore, unless I'm just like stretching or something. But I learned a lot of discipline from it, and yeah, it's a good time. Jonathan Chu, can you talk about building an online audience? Yeah, the thing about building an online audience these days is it's really about being as authentic and as genuine as you possibly can. And then if you have receipts to back that up, all the better, right? All the better. So yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, it's all about leading by example and just being genuine, right? You have to be as genuine as possible, because if you're, and that takes practice, right? It takes practice. If you watch some of my earliest YouTube videos, they're pretty horrible. Watch some of my earliest YouTube videos, man. I mean, the content is there. Like, the content's valuable. I'll vouch for the content, but the delivery was like, yeah. But I leave them up there, right? I leave them up there. I left them up there. I knew some people would troll me for it, and some jackasses did. I'm like, that's fine, because the content is there. I'm going to leave it there, right? And it's also a reminder for me. It's like, it shows the transgression of like how I got better, right? I got better, more comfortable, and just more transparent. Yeah, and the funny thing was, I was always like that in game and pickup, but like all of a sudden going on, like, say, YouTube and trying to talk to a screen, it was like, whoa, this is weird, right? But so it was just a matter of transferring that over. But yeah, when it comes to building an online audience, just find an audience that connects with your message, and you'll find that, right? As long as you're being just, your genuine, natural self. I mean, I talk to you guys like I would talk to like my two best friends if we were just in a room together and I was talking to them, right? I talk to you guys the same way. It's like, this is just how I am when I'm with them. So that's essentially how you want to be, right? And then people will start to connect with your message. And then obviously, if you have receipts, you need to show those, right? I mean, even with my business stuff, I posted some of my income statements on my Instagram like a year ago, and I could post some new ones now, but I've posted that in the past just to prove, like, okay, cool, he's who he says he is. I posted enough infields too on my YouTube. They're kind of like peppered throughout my YouTube channel, and then you'll find some on my Instagram too, of just me doing some basic infields. And even those, like, I get called out for, like, oh, no, looks too smooth, or that's fake, or oh, that doesn't look good enough, whatever. And it's like, you can't control that. Thing about YouTube, by the way, right now is they started in 2019. They started banning pickup channels. So I don't know if you guys know that. They started banning pickup channels that were posting infield videos. So I had to unlist like half of the infield videos that I did have on my channel. And then I left up a few of the ones that were kind of like, that seems pretty harmless. I left those up. And I shouldn't even done that, but I left those up just kind of as like receipts, so to speak. Like, okay, this guy cold approaches in real life. But if you saw the shit that I do on boot camp, like with students, and I've had students vouch for me and drop comments in some of those videos, like if like haters have done responses, they've dropped comments, like guys who've taken my boot camp, and they're like, dude, this is nothing compared to what I've seen this guy do. Like if I uploaded the shit that I do on boot camp to my YouTube channel, it would be shut down tomorrow. They would be like, sexual harassment. He just grabbed that girl. He doesn't know her. He just picked her up, started grabbing her. Nope. Ban his channel, right? So yeah, YouTube started hammering down on those like pickup channels back in like 2019, and they still are, unfortunately, and it's sad because it's a great way to learn, like watching somebody do infield. But yeah, it's too bad. All right, let's keep rocking. Lencho Elias, good question. Yo, Matt, what disciplines do you use to maintain your confidence and high vibe in your day-to-day life? Thank you for everything, bro. Yeah, I get comments like that a lot. Like, guys are like, how do you have so much energy? Why do you always seem like you're in a good mood? How come you always have like a pretty positive vibe? And one of the main things is I keep moving in life. As I tell you guys, I keep moving in life. And not only do I keep moving in life, but I constantly have something to look forward to. Like next month, I've got like a couple of trips planned. One with this chick in Sac, and then I got a trip planned to Vegas where I'm going to meet these other girls out there. I'm constantly moving around, and then I'm trying to plot out what I'm going to do the month beyond that. So I constantly have something to look forward to, which is what you need, right? You can't just have nothing to look forward to. You have to have something to look forward to. So I constantly have that going on, and I'm constantly moving in life, and I'm just constantly on my grind, right? I'm constantly on my grind. I'm never really sitting still. I'm never sitting still. And that's another thing is like, this is the longest that I've stayed at home for a while. It's been almost like a month now. Well, I took a road trip last week. I take that back. I did take a road trip, but I didn't shoot really any coaching videos except the one documenting my DeLorean doing a 1,000-mile trip. Outside of that, I've been pretty much home. I'm home. Cash and Gizmo are over there, like sleeping beyond. I don't know if you can see them. Like, there they go, over there. Right, they're over there sleeping. But this is the longest period of time I've been home. But I get a lot of crap for that. Like, oh, you're never shooting at home. You're living out of hotels and stuff. And it's like, no, dude, I have more than one place to live. I have like multiple property. But I choose to keep moving. Right, it just keeps me more excited. I shoot better content when I'm on the road than I do at home. But that's what keeps my vibe going. It's constantly being out there, constantly just meeting people, engaging with humanity. Obviously, cold approach keeps your vibe up. You have to just be on it constantly if you're doing cold approach, right? If you're meeting new chicks all the time, you're constantly just by default, you're going to want to stay in shape. You're not going to want to eat those cheeseburger and fries every night. You're going to want to have something going on in your life so you have something to talk about. So, yeah, that's what keeps my vibe up. Let's move yourself. What is your thoughts of calmer, harder, and not too much talkative guys? If that's your vibe, then yeah, you're gonna attract other guys like you. You're gonna attract other people like you. So if you're into that, then yeah, that's fine. I mean, if it's not you, everybody's personality is different, right? Everybody's personality is different. If you guys remember, like Neil Strauss, who wrote the book The Game, that guy is like super high energy, talks a mile a minute. He's just like a ball of energy. I can't keep up with that dude. But that's his style, right? That's his style. Just like my style, I'm kind of like in the middle of that, right? I'm like a little talkative at times, sometimes too much, and then I'm just kind of animated. I talk with my hands a lot, right? Part Italian, talk with my hands a lot. So that's just my vibe. But if that's who you are, then go with it, right? Because I mean, if you're on my boot camp, I would not try to change you into a version of me, right? I would be like, okay, this works for you. I would just try to build on it and improve on that. Like, okay, this is how you could be more attractive, right? Maybe you could wear a more fitted shirt or something like that if you have nice body, or you could just, there are little improvements and little tweaks you can make here and there. But if that's the core of who you are, stick with it, right? Stick with it, go with it. Jonathan Chu, thank you, Matt. You created a great brand on YouTube. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. John Reynoso with a $10 super chat. How to approach young girls for guys in their 30s. A lot of it, to be honest with you, comes back to your mindset. Okay, it just comes back to where your head is, and what your reality is, what your reference experiences are. Because I've had really my only reference experiences are dating younger girls under 30. That's my reality, right? That's just my reality. So I'm going to actually upload a coaching video on that next week. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, one more question. Tim with a $5 super chat. Hey, Matt, I just started talking to a girl. I told her I'm looking for something real. Then she gets quiet. Was that bad? Can I get her back? Yeah, you could get her back, but back off a bit because you kind of fed her a little too much power. So just take a step back and let her come to you. So yeah, and yeah, you don't want to say stuff like that, by the way. Like, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for something real. I'm looking for a life partner. Never say anything like that, because as I tell you guys, girls view game like a movie, right? They want to watch the whole movie. They want the movie to play out on its own. They just want to sit back and watch the movie. Whereas with guys, we have this tendency to just give away the ending, right? So it's almost like you're giving her the ending. She doesn't want to hear it. So yeah, you could get her back. Just take a step back, kind of ghost her for a few days, ghost her for a little bit, let her come to you. Okay, a little push-pull here, a little push-pull. because now you pushed. Now you got to pull back. Okay. Stephen Ray Bargamento, greetings from the Philippines. Oh no. How are you? Thanks for joining tonight. Tom's L. Hey Matt, any advice on noticing red flags on girls who define themselves as traditional conservative? Any personal experiences on that? What do you mean? They define themselves at that but don't act like it, or what? What do you mean by that? Sorry guys, got kind of like allergies this week. Got allergies on the road trip. It's crazy. Jim, Matt, how do you stay disciplined when it comes to healthy eating healthy when you have a sweet tooth and love to? As you guys know, I mean, or if you don't know, I have a pretty big sweet tooth. I would have like 12-pack abs if I didn't have a sweet tooth. But the way I manage that is I usually have protein bars. I usually eat Quest. You guys eat Quest? But yeah, I usually eat Quest. One of my favorite flavors is that raspberry. It's like raspberry macadamia or something. I don't know. It's like raspberry something. And then there's another one that's like mocha chocolate. Those knock out my sweet tooth like that. But I'll usually have like 2 of those per day. It's pretty bad. It's not the healthiest thing, but it keeps me from eating cookies, cake, M&Ms and crap like that. So I usually have that. And also I have like a protein shake once a day. Yeah, I'll have like and also that is Quest too. I'll have to show you my refrigerator sometime, but I keep like Quest shakes in my refrigerator. So those I usually just buy from like a Target or a Walmart. It's usually like $6 for a pack of 4, and they're like 160 calories, low carb, low sugar, and it knocks out my sweet tooth pretty good. It's pretty tough in Vegas, man. It's pretty tough in Vegas. Like Vegas has the best pastries. It's insane. They have like so many good pastries, man. So it's tough there. But whenever I'm here, I eat pretty healthy. Yeah. I mean, you can't completely deprive yourself. That's no way to live either. So yeah, I mean, you have to treat yourself every once in a while. But yeah, Stomper 75, alternate day fasting works great. Exactly. Yeah, there are days too where I fast. I don't eat anything for like a day or two. I usually do that once or twice. Once or twice a month. I don't do it all the time. Or every couple of weeks, I'll do it for a couple of days. But yep, it's all about balance. All right, guys. It is now 7:45. We've been on for an hour, so I'm going to wrap up here. As always, follow me on social media. Follow me at Matt Cross Official on IG. If you're not already, I'll probably post some stuff there later. Instagram at Matt Cross Official. Also, if you're not in 7 Months of Mastery, get in 7 Months of Mastery. Or if you want to jump into premium AlphaMaleSecrets, jump into premium. But I'm going to roll on because it's 7:45 and I got dinner plans at 9 with one of my girls here. We're supposed to go to some Mexican place again. And check that out. I'll answer that one question. Last question, just because I saw it. Matt, do you take any supplements? No, I mentioned this in a coaching video I just uploaded yesterday, talking about the 3 ways to increase your testosterone levels naturally. I said I don't take supplements. No, don't take supplements, especially not now. But if I were playing football again, I might be tempted to. But yeah. I know I stay away from it. I just try to eat clean, at least eat as clean as I can. That's the best you can do. But once you start taking supplements, you kind of get, your body gets kind of adapted to that, needing those supplements. All right, fellas. So you guys have a good night. I'll answer this one last question. Hey, Matt, about girls in the gym, go direct or indirect? If she's at your gym, always go indirect. Why? Because you're going to see that girl again. And if you see her again, it's going to be awkward, right? If you went direct, it's going to be very awkward. So don't go direct. Always go indirect when it's a girl you're going to see frequently, whether it's at the gym, it's at your favorite restaurant, your favorite bartender. Always go indirect. All right, guys. You guys have a great weekend. Watch yesterday's coaching video on how to increase your levels of testosterone. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Matt Cross Official. Jump into 7 Months to Mastery. Jump into Premium AlphaMaleSecrets. And until the next live stream, I will see you in the next one. All right. I love you guys. Any haters on here tonight? I love you guys too. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And I wish you all a very happy, blessed weekend. Okay. Haters too. I wish you all a happy, blessed weekend. And yeah, I'll do this again soon. All right, guys. Love you.